Hello and welcome. And we are back. So, last episode, I went ahead and I built the refinery. Um, and since then, I've waited for the sun to come up, did a little bit of mining, and otherwise, just kind of fiddled around a little bit. I did make a few other changes, notably in here. You will notice that I now have a cargo container right here, nice and easy to access. Another one here, did the same on that side. And since I found some silver, I have upgraded to a med bay. Overall, the interior of this is mostly the same, except for now I have the cargo, and I'm making use of the Willis ducts like I have everywhere else, which I consider to be an upgrade at least. So, that is it in here. Then we come on over here to the refinery, and I will fly around it really quick so we can see it in all of its glory. So it's a big box. Yay, good job, we did it. Um, but it is fully up and running, and I will come inside, and you can hear the hydrogen engines humming. So I will probably turn them off in just a little bit. Um, I do still need to go ahead and hook up an event controller to turn them on when the batteries are low and turn them off when the batteries are high. But other than that, everything is working as planned, and it is also fully sealed. So I have everything that I need for it there. So that brings us to this section here. So what I wanted to do over here is I wanted to go ahead and uh, make a little office building. And well, I could go 3 high to match the height of the refinery section. I think to try and live outside the box slightly, I'm going to go ahead and make it 2 high, so I've got a little bit of variation. But I might look at going ahead and put a rooftop landing pad on top. Additionally, right now the entrances for this are going to be from the refinery, or from basically these two areas right here. I figure that if you are in the refinery already, you should know what's going on. But if you come in one of these other entrances, I wanted it to go ahead and come into a little lobby area. So let's go ahead and get started on that. First things first, let me go ahead and turn these hydrogen engines off. I hid them, that's what happened. There we go. Let's turn that off. There we go. Now that the sound isn't annoying me, we only have to worry about the wind power not being enough to power the assembler and 2 refineries. So I need to go ahead and start by getting a bunch of interior plates and steel plates. So let me go ahead and just grab like 200 of each and see what I want to build. Start by going ahead and cutting this. Alright, so when we come in, the very first thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and basically have a little airlock. So I'm going to start by and grabbing an air vent. And let me go ahead and grab the same color as everything else. Alright, and I'm going to have an air vent right here. And then the same on this side, I will put an air vent right here. And that is going to go into a Willis duct too, because that has the vent on top. Alright, and then this whole little section, let me go ahead and stick my armory, which is going to be right here. And we will make this green. There we go. Armory right there. And right there. Next up, the door. Wait. For this, I need girders. Forgot about that. Where's my girders? There we go. Alright, now that I'm up here, I need to come on over here, and I'm going to go ahead and do the lab door like this. And then same thing over here. There we go. And yep, we're all good. Alright. And then I'm going to need to put something right here to prevent you from walking through the airlock. So, since I'm going to have a block there anyways, I can now go ahead and hide another air vent underneath. And same thing over here, and I will just have them pointed over into this corner here. And as for what to put on top of them, let's go ahead, just hop up here, and this, somewhere in here there's displays, text panels, that's what they're called. Alright, so I can put a text panel and make it an inset one. There we go, and have that kind of facing in like this. And then I can go ahead and like toss some Willis ducts or something like that down here. Actually, let's go ahead and stick an inset light in here. And then, since I've got the air vent facing in here and here, let's just surround all that with Willis ducts. We can go ahead and stick a vent here and here, and then I want a corner here, here, and here. And those two Willis ducts will also prevent the air flowing in from the airlock into the rest of the section. And then over here, let me go ahead and grab a T-junction. So that way it'll both blow into here and also out into the rest of the section. And then, because I don't know what I'm doing, how about an X right here? And that looks like plenty of stuff to start welding up, so let's get to it. And alright. So let me go ahead and start by coming on over here and grabbing 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yep, that's enough. Alright. Alright, so that's my air vents hooked up. And nope, it's going to go ahead and give me the lab door. So let me go ahead and cut the lab doors down really quick so I can go ahead and weld up these Willis ducts. And then we'll put the lab doors back up. There we go. And there we go. Alright, so now let's go ahead and do these. Okay, and then from here, let me go ahead actually and put down a bunch of that stuff. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there we go. Alright, so my lobby will now have its floor done. Alright, so we're going to walk in the door over here. We've got nice blank wall, the armory, then we come out right here, and then let's go ahead and put a table down here. So let's go ahead and then put some corners. There we go. Nice little desk. And then let's go ahead, actually let's start over here. Put this corner up. And then let's look at adding, actually let's add these here. And then add some windows. Okay, clear on this side, perfect. That's what I wanted. Clear on this side, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then and there we go. There we go. So now, coming in from here, we will come in this door. We got a little armory where we can go ahead and like set our suit down and stuff. And then we come into the lobby area. We can have somebody at the desk. That's on. We've got some LCDs to go ahead and display something. If we wanted to, this would be a good spot to go ahead, since there's nothing right here. We can either stick a corner light in, or if we're feeling cheeky, we can stick an interior turret here. Let's go with the corner light. And for this one, I want it to be this color. Oh, I need construction components. There we go. So we've got the inset light and the corner light. Together, this area should be fairly well lit. I can also, yeah, let's go ahead and do this right now. So this line is actually going to be white. I will change painting for that later. But I can go ahead and stick this here. And this one here. And that's going to go ahead and let me... I want green or... No, let's go with gray for kind of the interior. So we'll go ahead and we will paint the armories gray. And then here I will go ahead and put some inset lights down facing downwards. Like that, and like that. So that way the entry areas are nice and well lit. There we go. Perfect. The only thing I kind of wish I had right now was a way to go ahead and have like the LCD be on this side and this side. But, yep, that's not in the cards. Alright, so the entry is done. Now, what are we going to do next? Well, let's see here. So I've got my Willis duct here. Let me just go ahead and be really lazy and lay a bunch of the Willis duct X's down. Well, so I have a floor to work off of. And figure out where things are going from there. And I'm not going to weld these up because it is my intention to go ahead and replace a bunch of these with something else. I suppose I could just make Willis duct floors everywhere. Yep. Alright. So, this will be my floor. And then I need stairs to go up. So let's go ahead and stick some stairs in. And I think they go best in a corner, so we could go ahead and do something like this. And then I will also look at going ahead and putting some stairs up to the roof over there. Straight up. What do I want? Yeah, straight up. We'll do it like this. So from here, we will take some stairs up through here. This is going to be where the second floor is. So there's an entire, 2.5 meter block between them. Ideally, this would be less space than that, but you can't do that in Space Engineers. And then from here, we can, walk around, and then come on over to this corner. And then we will be able to come from here up onto the roof. We can go ahead and stick some sort of airlock system in here. Maybe we stick a door like right here. And then this whole thing is basically an airlock. Yeah, that would work. And then we can go ahead and exit from here up onto our rooftop landing pad. Alright, seems like a plan. Alright, so what are we putting down here? Well, the first thing that I want to do is add another little corner office here. And you know what? We can also put a non-corner office in here. Right over here, we could go ahead and stick some bathrooms. And then, because if you get an office with a window, Must be important so you can get a captain's desk. And let's put a chairless desk here. So that means that I need something here to block that, and then I can go ahead and stick a door here. Nope, I want the glass on the inside. So there we go. Um, huh. There's something that I would want to do here. I mean, I could put like a little patio here. Ooh. Basically just kind of stick this here. Ah, let me come back to that. Not sure what I'm going to put there yet, but I will put something there. And then I need to have... Oh, that's a great idea. Let me come on over here. And in the armory, I have the inset bookshelf. So I can put books there. And then when I come in through here, I can have... Oh, more interior plates needed. Alright, come in here, and now I can put my inset bookshelf in, and then need construction components. I go get a bunch of those. You know, just grab 100 of them too. There we go. Put a corner light in there. I can't put something here because this is where the door is. There's a desk here, so there's this space here that I can do something with. I'm not sure what yet. So we've got basically bookshelf and coffee bar, and then I'm going to repeat that over here. And here I want the coffee here, and then the books here. There we go. Alright, so I have a random little cubby here. I can't do anything with that because that's the armory. Let's see here. I can go ahead and put some sort of window here. Let's see what my window options are. Could have like a little bay window. Interesting. Let's see here. Bridge window. Nope, don't like that. What is this? A half window? Interesting. Let's look and see what other window options are in here. Let's see here. There's corridor windows, a little bay window dome. Could do that. The little window wall has viewport 1 or viewport 2. Yeah, you know what? I like that one the most. Viewport 1 window wall. And all right. So now I have all of this space to do something with. Let's go ahead now and here it is. Well, that is a big LCD. Okay.
Energy low.
So this would basically be like for directions. Flat top, flat bottom, text panel, white LCD. You know what? Let's just stick some LCDs over here too. And I said that this is going to be an office. Um, let's go ahead and put some desks in. Now, one thing that I will note is I was doing a little bit of playing and designing stuff to try and figure out what I would want to do over here. And one of the things I found is that this lab desk looks great. So I can just kind of rotate it around. It looks exactly like something like an office worker would sit at. However, um, half the time when I placed these, it crashed my game. So like I would go ahead and I'd place down a little row of desks, and then I would crash. I'm not touching them. I'm not interacting with them. I just place them, and well, it was nice knowing you. Um, so despite the fact that these being are kind of like my top choice, I am not actually going to use them. So yeah. Um, let's then go ahead and I want it to be something with a chair. So let's go ahead and do this. Everybody's favorite co-working space. And I need a block here to be able to climb the stairs. So let's go ahead and we'll stick some coffee back here. There we go. And just put a little end cap on these. And then, hmm. So what I'm looking at over here is that part of me wants to go ahead and hide this because I like the terminals here. Um, if I were to put this terminal in, would that still allow easy access to the bathroom? Let's find out. Yes, it would. Alright, we'll go with that. Hi, puppies. Is there anything that I can stick on the side of this to make it look stand out a little less? Let's see here. An axis panel. That's an interesting idea. Some neon tubes. Ooh, conduit. Let's do conduit. Oh, and now you could even do a conduit light. Yeah, there we go. Gets me a light over there, which I made a mistake and didn't put one there. There we go.
Energy low.
Mistake corrected. Alright, and then let me go ahead and just set another set of desks over here. And then but I want easy access down here, so we'll just do a smaller set of desks. And I will have to come back in and paint things once I actually see what all the colors are. And then
Energy critical.
there we go. So I basically have one spot right here that is not being used, and then some spots here. Let's see here. If I come on over to this, is there something that I can stick in here? Kitchen, a little bar. Nope. Yeah, we'll go ahead and stick some lab cabinets in. Again, I will come back and paint stuff later. And then I've got a little bit of space here to do something with. Um, Not sure what yet. But that looks pretty good for this floor. So let me go ahead and figure out how I'm going to weld all this up. And I will be back in a little bit. All right, and we are briefly back as I have gone ahead and tried to figure things out. So I went ahead and I deleted all of the Willis ducts that I laid out, and I went ahead and put up a few spots where I'm going to go ahead and put these floor centers. They're kind of nice, bland tile, but they should have a similar finish to the floors or to the Willis ducts. And I don't need the Willis ducts everywhere, so saving large steel tubes can only be considered an upside. Alright, so that's all the floor centers in place there. Um, and then let me just go ahead and weld up a bunch of stuff really quick. There we go. And as you can see, colors are hard when things are unwelded, so I will come back and recolorize things in a little bit. Alright, let's go ahead now and kind of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 6. Go ahead and get all of that into my inventory. And then come on over here and grab all this. All right. And while I'm at it, just grab that little block there. And if you're wondering what these are attached to, they are actually currently attached to the windows. So then I need to grab 3 of these doors and these 2 LCDs.
Energy low.
Alrighty. So now that we've got basically everything laid out, let's go ahead and start working on where I want to have the interior blocks and where I want to have the Willis ducts. So, sorry, not the interior blocks, the floor centers. So I'm going to go ahead and stick some floors here. Then I need the Willis ducts here. I will go ahead and stick the floors under the bathrooms. Then over here, I want to go ahead and come on over for the Willis ducts. And I want to grab the Willis duct 2. And then a corner, a 2, and repeat over here. We'll stick a T there. Let's go ahead and stick the normal Willis duct, and then the 2 here. And that will go ahead and be that little section. Over here, let me just go ahead and stick down the 2s, because that's where all the ventilation will be. We will stick a 2 in here. And do we want the bathrooms on separate air? Ooh, tempting. Anyways, we'll think about that more in a bit. So we'll stick a 2 there. And then let's stick a 2 over here. And then say here. And that should be more than enough ventilation. So let me go ahead and eat some food. And then I will be back once the floor is all finished. Alrighty, and everything is all welded up. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. So over here, we've got our entryway into this little section here. Got the little corner light here. Still need to go ahead and put something on these. Come out here. Could have put something else right here, but just stuck a light there. We've got a little desk here, some desks here. Decided to go ahead and stick a window in right here, and then some coffee right here. Here's the stairs going up, and then we will have additional stairs going up there. Over here, we come through this door, and we get to the bathrooms, and then another little viewport looking out. Over here is a bit dark, so we're definitely going to need to put some overhead lighting in over here. And then we come on over here. Still needs to go something right here, and then decide what we're doing here. But then there's the 2 little corner offices over here. So that is the first floor, and this is taking a lot longer than I had been anticipating. So I'm going to call this episode here, and we will come back and make the second floor next episode. So, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.